The Tacoma Art Museum was founded in 1935 and moved to its present location in 2003. Dedicated to collecting and showing Northwestern art, the museum owns over 4,500 items, including the largest collection of Dale Chihuly glass art and the largest collection of jewelry by Northwestern artists. It holds impressive works by 19th-century European artists, such as Renoir, Degas, and Pissarro, and numerous amounts of Japanese woodblock prints from the 17th to the late 19th centuries. The Hobb family collection of Western art is particularly fine and contains works by Frederick Remington and Georgia O'Keeffe. The museum offers programs for all school grades as well as professional development workshops for art educators. The Foss Waterway Seaport celebrates Tacoma's marine heritage and gives visitors a fascinating glimpse into an important part of Tacoma's history: boat and shipbuilding. The museum is located in a century-old wheat warehouse and was once supplied by train, with the wheat shipping out to sea. Dedicated to heritage and education, the museum has interesting exhibits that will delight history buffs and boat lovers. There are models of commercial vessels made by shipbuilders in Tacoma, canoes made by the Willits brothers from 1908 to 1967, early scuba equipment, vintage fishing lures, sculptures of marine debris, and classic recreational boats. The highlight of the museum is a working heritage wooden boat shop staffed by volunteer shipbuilders. Visitors to the museum can watch and ask questions. The museum has a kids' craft area as well as knowledgeable and friendly docents. The Tacoma Nature Center is a 71-acre nature preserve with Snake Lake and its wetlands at its heart. The forested park is great for trail walks and wildlife spotting. There are cottontail rabbits, red foxes, raccoons, and black-tailed deer living here. The lake is home to wood duck, mallards, Canada geese, and western painted turtles. Inside the interpretive center there are displays on the ecosystems and animal life within the nature preserve. The Nature Center's highlight is Discovery Pond, a unique children's play area with a treehouse, a hollow log to climb through, boulders to scramble over, and a waterfall to play around. Naturalists are on hand to answer questions, while the Nature Center, which charges no admission, offers a gift shop, summer day camps, nature programs, and birthday parties. Five-mile drive and its trails are in Point Defiance Park on Puget Sound in Tacoma, Washington. Vehicle traffic may drive through the inner loop of the park, while the outer loop is open only to pedestrians and cyclists. There are several well-marked trails that range in distance from 1/4 mile to 4.5 miles. The trails traverse old-growth forest, beaches, steep cliffs, and a delightful garden of rhododendrons. Hikers are granted spectacular views of Puget Sound, Vashon Island, and the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Visitors lucky enough to see animals on their meanderings around the park should know that there are hefty fines for feeding the animals. Wildlife in the park includes bald eagles, mule deer, red foxes, squirrels, raccoons, while by the shore there are sea lions and the opportunity to watch humpback whales migrate. American Lake is located just south of Tacoma in the community of Lakewood. It is a popular destination for fishing. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife keeps it stocked with rainbow trout and kokanee, and there are natural populations of yellow perch, rock bass, largemouth bass, coastal cutthroat, and brown bullhead catfish. The Department of Fish and Wildlife has a 2-lane concrete boat launch available. 2 public parks on the lakeshore have beaches that attract swimmers, sunbathers, picnickers, and fishing enthusiasts. Shore fishing available in both parks. There is lovely clean water in which to swim, and benches, picnic tables, and restrooms are available. Deer are often spotted, and bald eagles dive into the lake in search of kokanee. Harold LaMay was a Tacoma businessman who, at the time of his death, owned the largest private car collection in the world. He had over 3,500 cars. The LaMay America's Car Museum has 350 of his cars from a wide range of car manufacturers and eras. Here visitors can see race cars from Lotus and Ferrari as well as a 1953 Citroën, a 1913 Daimler, a 1926 Ford Model T pickup, a 1929 Cadillac, a 1932 Packard, and a 1966 Ford Mustang. The Broadway Center for the Performing Arts comprises the Pantages Theater and the Rialto Theater, both completed in 1918, and the much newer theater on the square, which opened in 1993. Set in Tacoma's downtown theater district, The Broadway Center is the home of the Tacoma Opera, Tacoma Symphony, Tacoma Youth Symphony, Tacoma Concert Band, Northwest Sinfonietta, and the Tacoma City Ballet. Over the nearly 100 years of its history, the complex has hosted great performers including Mae West, the Marx Brothers, Harry Houdini, Babe Ruth, Dave Barry, Bob Newhart, Victor Borge, and Jack Benny. All seats are good seats in the 3 theaters, and marvelous acoustics add to the onstage acts. Dale Chihuly is a Tacoma native who is world-renowned for his unique glass creations. The 500-foot bridge spans Interstate 705 and the Foss Waterway. It is a pedestrian bridge and is partially covered. It links the Museum of Glass to Museum Row and Tacoma's downtown. The covered section of the bridge has a ceiling installment called the Seaform Pavilion, on which hang over 2,000 glass objects, giving the viewer the perspective of looking at a coral reef from below. Further along the bridge are towers made of blue translucent crystal, which capture and refract the daylight and which are illuminated from below at night. The final installation on the bridge is Venetian Row, an 80-foot wall filled with 109 glass sculptures, all of them museum quality. From the bridge, visitors have an excellent view of Mount Rainier and the city of Tacoma. There is no charge to cross the bridge. The Children's Museum of Tacoma believes that it is while playing that children learn the most. This museum was designed for infants up to the age of 8 and has several different playscapes for youngsters to explore. The wood section of the museum has logs, elevated platforms, pulleys, and fort building material, while the water area supplies rubber aprons so that kids can use their hands to play in the running water and the waterfall. The Voyager is a ship with ropes to climb, wheels to turn, and a child's imagination to foster. In Becca's studio, there is plenty of equipment for messy, creative art projects, and the Invention Studio has blocks, boards, fabrics, and tubes for building, learning gross motor skills, and early math learning. The museum has a small snack bar, lockers for rent, and a strict no-stroller policy. When the Hudson's Bay Company expanded to the west coast of North America, it was at Fort Nisqually that it based its fur trading and farming operations. Over the next few decades, local turmoil saw the fort fall into disrepair and finally close in 1869 as the fur trade waned. As part of Roosevelt's New Deal employment initiatives in the 1930s, the fort was restored. 2 of its original buildings, the keeper's house and the granary, are still standing.